In this video, we're going to go over nested for loops. Now, you would have seen some questions where they ask you to draw a diagram made of, in fact, a triangle made of stars. So these kind of triangle patterns or pyramid patterns. So we do this with the use of for loops. So in this video, I'm going to go over what for loops are and how you can draw a couple of such patterns, for example, triangle and pyramid. All right, so let's start. So nested for loops follow the same syntax rules as your regular for loops. Okay, so you need to adhere to these syntax rules. You have to start with initialization, which is use the for keyword to begin the for loop, and of course set the initial variable I. Then you need to state the condition inside the parentheses, which is how many loops do you want your for loop to run for, and finally the update, which is the increment operator. Okay, so if you look at the way that the for loop syntax is structured, right, you start with the keyword for, you state your condition inside the parentheses, then this curly braces, right, that's where your code gets executed. Okay, so what happens is, as long as this condition is met, okay, the control goes straight away to the code block, and this increment operator does not increment until this code block is completed. Once this code block is completed, so this will follow, for example, j is equal to I. As long as j is less than equal to I, it will follow this document dot write and write the star character. Then it will go back increment because this loop has not ended, and this loop will continue until the condition is met. Then it will break out of the loop and return back to the increment operator over here. Okay, so let's put this into practical example so it makes sense. So what I've stated is I've created a variable called row, and I'm asking the user to enter the number of rows in the pyramid. Actually, this one is a triangle. So okay, so all right, so I've opened up my HTML file, and the first line of JavaScript code that will be executed is line number 9. So I've created the variable row, and I'm using the prompt function to ask the user to enter the number of rows in triangle. So suppose I key the number 5. Okay, what will happen is the value 5 will be assigned to the variable row. Now the for loop starts. So for I is equal to 0, I is currently less than equal to 5, right? 0 is less than 5. So condition is true. So it will, the code blocks execute. So the code block for this for loop is within this. So this entire code block will start to execute. So I'll repeat again. I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, so control falls into the code block. Now j is equal to 1, j is greater or equal to, less than or equal to I. Okay, now this condition is not met over here because currently I is 0. So if you notice, right, wait, let me just show you. So I'm going to enter this I. You will see actually over here there's a line which got executed. Okay, what happened was this wasn't true, so this document dot write star did not get executed. It went over there and a break was executed. Okay, um, if I were to change the value of j is equal to 0, now if you notice here, right, that there's a bigger gap between the top and where the first star starts from. Let me refresh this with j is equal to 0. Okay, and let me enter again the value 5. Now you see over here, you see, right, how closer the star is to the top. Yeah, that's because here j is equal to 0, j is less or equal to I, which is currently 0. So the condition is true. So the first line, which is the star, gets written over here. Okay, so I wanted you to understand this. So let me go back to j is equal to 1. So if you notice, right, look at how small the gap between the top and the first star is. Now I put j is equal to 1. I again enter 5. Now you notice, right? Let me put j is equal to 2. Again, I put the value 5, and you notice, yep, you see how much further. Okay, so anyway, going back, so what's happening is, again, So j, um, initially j is was not less than or equal to 0. Hence, there was a this code didn't execute. It went to this code line 18, and a break was executed. So there was a line break. Then it went back to the top. The increment operator got executed. So now I became 1. Okay. Now once I became 1, I is still less than row, which is 5. So the condition is true. It goes back down inside, and currently I is um, j now is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 1. So 1 is equal to 1 is true. So the first line gets executed. Then j increments. J becomes 2. So j is currently 2, whereas the value of I is still 1. So 2 is not less or equal to 1. So it breaks out of this loop because the condition is not met, and the break line gets executed. So you see over here, right? When I was 1, when j was 1, and j was equal to 1, so the single star got executed. But now once increment took place and j became 2, 2 is not less than equal to 1, so it breaks out of this loop and goes down. This document outright break line gets executed over here, and then again it goes back to the outer loop. Now I currently is equal to, previously it was 1, so it's incremented, it is now 2. 2 is less than equal to row, which is 5. So this condition is true. So it goes back down to this code block. Now here, the value of j is still 1. Now 1 is less than equal to the current value of I, which is 2. So condition is true. So 1 star gets written. Then j increments. J becomes 2. 2 is less than equal to 2, which is true. So the second star gets written. Now j increments and j becomes 3. 3 is not less than or equal to 2, which is the current value of I. So the this code block doesn't execute. It breaks out of the loop, goes down. The break line gets executed, and it goes back up. Now previously I was 2. Increment takes place, so now I is 3. 3 is less than equal to 5. True. So it goes down to the code block to be executed. So j again is 1. 1 is less than equal to 3. This is true. So the first star gets written. Then increment, because the code block for this loop is within these curly braces. So now j is 2. 2 is less than equal to 3. Is it true? Yes. So the second star gets executed. Now it goes back to the increment. J becomes 3. 3 is less than equal to current value of 3. True. So it goes back and star gets executed, written. Then j increments becomes 4. 4, is it less than or equal to 3? Not true. So it breaks out of the code block and goes down, and break gets executed. Then we go back up. Last value of I was 3. Now 3 is incremented to 4. 4 is still less than row, which is 5. True. Goes back down to code block. J is again 1. J is less than the current value of I, which is 4. True. So first star gets executed. Again goes and increments. J is now 2. 2 is less than 4. Second star. J goes increments again. J is now 3. 3 is less than or equal to 4. True. Third star. And finally j's increments. J becomes 4. 4 is less than or equal to 4. So it's equal to 4. So final star. J increments. J becomes 5. 5 is not less or equal to 4. Code block, it breaks out of code block, goes down, break line gets executed. Final increment over here now. Last value of I was 4. Now it's 5. 5 is equal to row, which is 5. True. Final loop gets executed. Again, j is only 1. but current value of I is 5. So j, is it less than 5? True. First star gets written. Second incrementer takes place. J now becomes 2. 2 is less than I, which is 5. True. Second star. Again, code block executed, completed, so goes back incrementer. J now becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. True. Third star gets executed, code block finish, goes back to increment. J becomes 4. 4 is still less than I, which is 5. So again, the fourth star gets executed. J increments, J now becomes 5. 5 is equal to I, which is 5 now. So still true. So star gets executed. J increments, J is now 6. 6 is not less or equal to I, which is 5. So it breaks out of the loop. Final break gets executed. I has already reached equal to row, so this entire loop is completed, and your final set of stars on this row gets executed over here. Okay, so this is the example of for loop, and when we try to draw a triangle pattern.